Welcome back to A Cow's Opinion, where I, the cow, give you my news and views and rants about all the latest and greatest things and sometimes the really stupid things that are happening. And speaking of student, Activision Blizzard, the company that pretty much built the whole desire to have news programs on this channel, recently made a huge announcement. And to start off, I want to go to Force Strategy. He's a YouTuber I've gotten to see for years and years. And he probably summed up it the best I've seen so far. Now, as you know, Overwatch 2 recently had an announcement that the player versus environment, or PvE portion, will not be coming. And Force has a really great take on this. After 7 years of developing new MMO Titan, Blizzard, we couldn't find the fun in PvE. Titan is cancelled. We made a PvP only game, Overwatch, instead. After years of developing PvE for Overwatch 2, Blizz, we still have not located the fun. They might want to put out a missing child alert on that fun or something. It's a shame Titan never saw the light of day, considering the concepts they had for a new MMO sounded amazing. Similarly, it's a shame Overwatch 2 PvE, as showcased so far, won't be coming to the game. I'm sure it's equally disappointing for everyone who spent years working on both. This sucks. Big time. The whole reason they made you buy Overwatch again, the whole reason they went down from the different 6v6 free-flowing pick-your-character strategy to the 5v5 you have to stay within your class strategy is, well, this is all for the stuff that we're doing. Now they're not doing the stuff. But let's take a little bit more of a look at this, guys, shall we? Because Activision Blizzard's the company that keeps on giving the dumb. Now, as Alyssa here at Kotaku is saying, Overwatch players have had some rough years, and based on her article, she's an Overwatch player, and so she probably knows what she's talking about. It came out in 2016, and it was amazing. We all remember the really cool presentation of the little kids watching the heroes and the villains fight, where the guard plays Hearthstone on, doesn't see anything. It was really cool. It was kind of like some kind of superhero modern-day shooter. But it's been, as the article says, it's been 3 years after the launch, and the steady content stream has slowed. And we were eventually told that instead, it was going to be made better. It was going to be fall in love with Overwatch all over again, they said. More PvP content, the dedicated lore-rich PvE mode that people like. Because let's face it, the one thing you can't say Blizzard does is they craft really great lore and stories. I wish that they would stick to them a bit more, but that's another article. More cooperative experiences powered up by a progression system that will let you level up your beloved heroes. But we all know the story. Overwatch 2 came out in October of 2022. No PvE. And Blizzard's like, it's coming, guys. It's coming. But just yesterday, May 16th, game director Aaron Keller told fans that the PvE mode first announced in 2019, 4 years ago, would not be coming. And that instead it's going to be back to the multiplayer experience. But there are problems with the multiplayer experience. Now, we all remember beloved game director Jeff Kaplan, who said, first and foremost, you have to remember that Overwatch is a team versus team 6v6 competitive experience, and there's no way we're losing that at all. Spoiler alert, they totally lost it. That's when that was back in 2019. He revealed Overwatch 2, the new competitive mode push, more heroes, and of course the PvE mode that even got me excited to start playing Overwatch when it would come out. It was going to give you skill trees, it was going to give you lore, it was going to give you progression, it was going to give you story plays, it was going to be great. And a shared multiplayer environment where no one gets left behind, which meant if you didn't like the PvE promises, you could not buy Overwatch 2, stick with one, and still get all maps, modes, and cosmetics coming with the sequel. It was a pretty sweet deal. And I just bumped my mic because I'm very anxious about this. I apologize. And people played what was, as the article says, a dead game for a year. Because, there was no content coming out. They were focused on Overwatch 2. But those promises were made, and people were excited. But then in 2021, Kaplan left Blizzard and gave the reins to Keller. And this is where it took turns to the, it's an alright game. So a month after he left, Blizzard announced Overwatch 2 would go from 6v6 to 5v1. As Keller would say, Overwatch has changed over time. We've gone from having no hero limits to having a hero limit. We ended up introducing a role lock over the course of the game. We felt that this is the next step in the way Overwatch ought to be played. And there was a lot of debate and controversy. Like, you can 5v5 means that you can't do as many wacky strategies. People were saying that you needed too many tanks, and people don't really want to play tank all the time. It's a lot more fun to play the aggressive roles. So queue times, or the time you're online waiting for a game, went up. And then, right before Overwatch 2 launched, Blizzard announced that the sequel would replace the original entirely. You can't play Overwatch 1 anymore. It would not have the PvE mode. It was supposed to come this year. And would turn into a live service, free-to-play model like Fortnite, Legends, and Call of Duty's Warzone. Which means that, people were a little butthurt. Understandably so. They had broken pretty much every promise. But at least PvE was coming, right? As of yesterday, no. So, unfortunately, and the rest of the article is her experiences. It's actually a good read. I might recommend it because she was a support main. And she questioned who the new format was for, while pointing out that the blistering fast pace resulting from the lack of a second tank is a disaster for backline healers because now you don't have someone to defend you. And despite all this, she does still play competitively almost every day, and hoping that the tank is good enough. And that is unfortunate because, it was a great game. It was super fun. But I feel like the reason why Kaplan left is because Blizzard from on high said, yo, those free-to-play game models make a lot of money. Why don't you make us a lot of money? But it was already a super successful game. People got greedy. And this is why corporate suits should only help guide the process, not run the process. And to add slap to injury to insult to what in the hell is wrong with you, Blizzard has the audacity today to confirm that BlizzCon will be live in-person event this November. The convention had gone on hiatus because of, lack of stuff to show, as well as this little global pandemic whose name I can't mention, because then it will get the video suppressed even more than it already be, because I'm not a big YouTuber. But this is the first time in 4 years that BlizzCon will be in person rather than just online. Obviously, the pandemic did it in 2020. And then summer 2021 was the lawsuit from the state of California about the constant sexual harassment, where, all the female employees stood up and said, hey, they're sexually harassing us. And the male employees stood up and said, hey, we believe them because they're also sexually harassing us, which is not what equal treatment's supposed to be, Blizzard. You went too far. You're stupid. Idiots. I still can't believe that there's not going to be any punishment for it. It's why I want Microsoft to buy them out. Just make the troll, that is Bobby Kotick, go away. And speaking of which, as we recently covered in our last video, Microsoft has been trying to buy it, and actually the EU just approved them, which is making the CMA really upset in the UK, as well as the FTC not looking so good, because remember, unlike the Europeans in America, you really have to prove it in court, and it can be really hard. Microsoft's got deep pockets and a lot of lawyers, y'all. I don't think they would be fighting this if they didn't know they had a really good chance of winning. And the atmosphere around Blizzard, as this article on Polygon states, still remains uncertain. The PvE campaign has been scaled down substantially. They have a return-to-office mandate that has led to more employee attrition and is probably, 1 plus 1 probably equals 2. As more and more people leave Blizzard over the years, first there was the sexual harassment stuff, then there was the grind, then there was people above you making terrible business decisions that are ruining the games that you love, and now this return to office mandate. I think the shine has come off of Blizzard. It's been reported multiple times. Activision Blizzard, despite being one of the biggest, most profitable companies in this industry, pays among the lowest wages on most of the employee salaries, because you really want to get that Blizzard on your resume. And it's a lifelong dream for a lot of these gamers to get to work there. But eventually, you want to make money. And you go work someplace that's going to pay and treat you better. Now, BlizzCon is reporting stuff around World of Warcraft, Dragonflight, more Hearthstone, which is an endless money sink, and I can't believe it took me as long as it did to give that up. And Diablo 4, which, let's be fair, releases on June 6th, and is having a lot of very positive press and game reviews on balance and all kinds of good stuff, and how they're responding on patches. And look, if you want to play Diablo 4, I'm not going to hate on you. I hope that you enjoy Diablo 4, but I don't have a lot of faith in it. As well as the upcoming mobile game Arclight Rumble is just DOA. Or actually, maybe even MIA. When was the last time you heard or saw anything about that? There was a press event maybe like a month or two ago, if I remember correctly, and they said it was good, but it's not the Blizzard-style product that you're used to. I don't know if Blizzard's going to announce anything major or new titles. And I know that people will be able to stream it. The videos will be up on YouTube instantly. People love the worlds and stories that Blizzard gives us. But lately, we just don't love Blizzard as much as we used to. And I'm actually not surprised if this stuff is... Look, this is my face right here. See this? See this? Winston's face is my face. Because honestly, I just don't know how much more of Blizzard's disappointments I can take. I already don't play their games because of all the garbage, and now I'm glad I didn't buy Overwatch 2 prior to the PvE coming, because I would have wasted $60. You think they would have refunded me for not coming out with the features that they promised? This is why Games as a Service is acronymed GAS. It stinks. Because they don't have to keep their promises to you. All they have to do is say, well, the development changed. Well, people's attitudes may start to change too. Maybe, and whether or not they get bought out by Microsoft, I don't know. But hopefully, somebody needs to go there and fix things, guys. Or else this beloved company that got me into gaming is not going to be beloved, or maybe even a company, much longer. But that is what we are talking about today. You, of course, have a nice little comment section. Let me know what first game you played from Activision Blizzard. Was it Blizzard? Maybe it was Call of Duty or something else from Activision. And let me know what you think. Are you surprised by the fact that the PvE is gone? Are you disappointed? Do you just wish they'd get their stupid act together and make great games again? I'll see you guys very soon. Videos are still coming. I'm going to try to do more happy news videos, but man, Blizzard is the gift that just keeps on giving, because you guys click on this and they keep making bad decisions. We will see you next time. Play more games! Games are awesome, and you deserve some awesome.